Is it me, or are they making weekends shorter lately? Just seems that way. I feel like I went to bed Friday night and woke up, and here we are Monday, the 11th day of May, 2026. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. Very pleasant morning. Going to be a very pleasant day today. Wind really picked up yesterday afternoon here in the big city. Right now we're at 55 degrees. No real wind today. We're going to be about we're going to be about what we hit yesterday. We hit, I think, 78 on Sunday. That's about what we're going to be today, with not as much wind. A little bump way up in the temperature tomorrow. We'll be in the upper 80s on Tuesday. Then a gradual cooling trend. The National Weather Service is being pretty honest with this. They said the computer models for the end of the week and into the weekend are not in agreement. They got like 3 different forecasts they're looking at because there's a lot of uncertainty. The jet stream is where it's supposed to be, but it's not real strong. The jet stream is not acting like a jet. It's more like a train, and that's affecting the weather. We'll have all of those details coming up. We'll have some news for you. A lot of sports. The Mariners just can't seem to get out of second gear. They score a lot of runs and win games, and the other team scores a lot of runs. Yesterday they scored 1, which doesn't get the job done. Spoiled a very good pitching outing. We'll have all of that and a lot of prep action to talk about as well. And starting today, the Small Business Administration is going to be helping out you folks with these low-interest loans who were affected by the December floods, that freak weather we had back in December. Our own Jefferson Robbins, the executive producer of this show, by the way, and he's proud of it. He had a chance to sit down with Todd Broadman, who's one of these Small Business Administration folks who are going to be dealing with getting you through the paperwork if, in fact, you need a low-interest loan, if your business was affected by that. Good conversation. It'll happen in the back half of the program. It's tour time. Here we go. There's the Heights. There are the hills, browning out as usual. A little too quickly for me. Columbia River is a little high, but not too bad. This warm and dry trend continues. We really need rain. There's really none in the forecast. We had 76, by the way, on Saturday, 78 yesterday. We get 14 hours and 57 minutes of daylight today. Tomorrow we'll be 13 seconds short of 15 hours of daylight, so we're almost there. From high atop Hay Canyon, looking over Kashmir, the Wenatchee River seems to be just about normal for this time of the year. Good morning to you, Kashmir. The Kashmir High School sports teams had a pretty good weekend in playoff action. Good morning to Leavenworth from high atop the Tumwater Canyon camera. That's pretty spectacular. There's not a lot of, these cameras can move. We can pan them around, but that's one of the few cameras that we have that doesn't really see much of anything except that. If we turn around the other way, you see a tree or you see the tower. But we do get a gorgeous view of Leavenworth from there, so that's worth it. And up to Nanapoc Ridge. The snow is now all gone from Dirty Face Mountain. There was a little patch there when we visited on Friday, but that has since dissipated. Golf course is ready, and they're probably heading right into mosquito season in the Lake Wenatchee area. They spray for mosquitoes, but oftentimes, more often than not, the skeeters get the upper hand there. One slide to show for you. This is the afternoon high temperatures and the overnight lows for the balance of the week. And I threw this up there because it shows you places we don't normally get specific about, like Chelan and Moses Lake and Omak. So there you go. As you can see, everybody's going to be peaking pretty warm. Tomorrow's going to be the warm day, then a gradual cooling trend for most of our viewing area. And again, they're not real sure starting about Wednesday night into the weekend exactly what Mother Nature has in store for us, but at least they're honest and told us that. We appreciate it. From our friends at Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, it's where comfort, care, and community come together. A lot of sunshine, very little wind. High of 77 degrees, 52 for the overnight low tonight. We're going to bump up to 86, maybe even warmer in some locations on Tuesday, and then a couple of clouds Tuesday night. Very warm for the overnight low, 59. Wednesday, lots of sunshine, but a little breezy, especially on Wednesday afternoon. And we'll only get up to about 80, so we're going to have that one little protuberance jumping up there on Tuesday and go right back down to 80 on Wednesday. Cooler still on Thursday with a high of about 76. And then we kind of start guessing a little bit, at least they are. They're doing their best. National Weather Service. 71 on Friday with sunshine. That'll be the coolest afternoon high temperature we have seen in quite some time, about 2.5 weeks anyway. And then on Sunday, it's going to be sunny and pretty pleasant, but it's going to be quite breezy on Saturday too. So kind of all over the place with the temperatures, but more sunshine than clouds and no rain, I'm afraid. Going to take a break and come back with your headlines on this Monday. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
When life gets stressful, reaching for a vape might seem like a quick fix, but vaping can actually make feelings of anxiety and depression worse. Each time you vape, nicotine tricks your brain into feeling rewarded. And the more you vape, the more nicotine receptors your brain creates. Over time, your body needs more and more nicotine to feel good. And when you can't get enough, you can experience withdrawal symptoms like anxiety, mood swings, and depression. Learn more at chooseyouwa.org.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Get ready to sip, sway, and celebrate at the Lake Chelan Wine and Jazz Festival, May 14th through the 17th. Experience over 35 live performances featuring jazz, blues, funk, and more, all set across award-winning wineries and scenic venues around Lake Chelan. Enjoy world-class wine, incredible food, and one-of-a-kind musical journey through wine country. Don't miss the Lake Chelan Wine and Jazz Festival. Get your tickets now at chelanwinejazz.com.
Outside of a few high clouds, it's a very pleasant 55 degrees, upper 70s today. Today's going to be a very nice day. In all things considered for the rest of the week, this might be the nicest day of the week. Going to see a little bit of wind towards the middle of the week. All in all, temperatures a little bit above normal. It's going to be pretty nice. Well, filing week's a done deal. It ended at 5 o'clock on Friday, and we have some very interesting races shaping up for the August primary in Chelan County. Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison drew a challenge from one of his newest deputies, Stan Langlau, who transferred to the Chelan County Sheriff's Department last July from the Kitsap County Sheriff's Office. He's running against Sheriff Morrison. Two challengers are in the running for the Chelan County Commissioner seat, currently being held by Republican Sean Smith, Nathaniel Jalisco of Peshaston, who's running as an independent, and Clint Strand, the executive director of the Wenatchee Valley College Foundation, who is filed as a Democrat. Skip Moore, of course, is retired after 17 years as Chelan County Auditor. His deputy auditor, Brant Capel, is now wanting to be elected to the office in his own right. He has a challenger, the outgoing Wenatchee Valley Fire Chief Brian Brett, who filed to run on Friday morning against Brant Capel. Both men registered as Republicans. In Douglas County, 3 candidates are running for sheriff to succeed Kevin Morris, who retired this year. And it's currently a two-way race for county clerk between incumbent Jen Bigger and challenger Andrea Jester. The official fighting period again ended on Friday. Primary voting begins in July, runs through August 4th. That's primary election day. The top 2 candidates in each field advance to the November general election. If there's only 2 candidates, they will automatically advance to the general election, regardless of what happens on August. A 78-year-old former resident of Grant County was sentenced Wednesday to 2.5 years in federal custody for assuming the identity of a Vietnam veteran. Raymond Kenneth Musgrove lived in Moses Lake in 1997 when he began opening financial accounts and collecting veterans' benefits under the name of a Marine Corps veteran, and he accumulated $825,000 over the next 25 years. The impersonation continued even after the veteran died in 2018. Musgrove pled guilty in U.S. District Court to 2 counts of false representation of a Social Security number, 5 counts of wire fraud, and 1 count of theft of government funds. U.S. District Judge Rebecca Pennell also found Musgrove guilty in a bench trial of 3 counts of aggravated identity theft. He now has to pay more than $1 million in fines and restitution, and he has to serve 3 years of probation after his sentence is over. At sentencing, Pennell told Musgrove, and I'm quoting now, "Your offensive conduct was lengthy and very troubling. You had been living a lie for decades," end quote. Schools of Moses Lake will partner this week with local police agencies for a gang awareness and prevention night. The Moses Lake School District will host the event. It's tomorrow at Vanguard Academy. The event is designed to provide families, students, and community members with resources and prevention strategies for dealing with gang influence on children. Scott West is the district's head of safety, and he says the evening is about getting ahead of concerns before they become problems. It starts at 5:30 tomorrow. There'll be food, refreshments, and childcare provided during the event. Eastmont's Community Facilities Study Committee will present its recommendations to the school board tonight about how to move forward with its aging school buildings. The district says Kenroy, Lee, and Cascade elementary schools face significant challenges due to their buildings, which impact students and the district's budget. In 2024, Eastmont attempted to pass a school construction bond twice. It failed twice. The committee will recommend whether the district should run another bond, try a capital levy to address one school at a time, or continue to redirect money from teaching and school programs to fix up the schools. The session will begin at 5:30 at Cascade Elementary School, and of course, it's open to everybody. For reasons that have not been entirely explained to me, we're helping your wallet and trying to save you a couple of bucks, especially during lunch. Our own Long Tran is checking out some of the best local places you can get lunch on a budget. And last week, he went to the Moochin House in downtown Leavenworth for a chat with the owner and a bratwurst or two.
On this week's Lunch on a Budget, we're here in Leavenworth to check out Moochin House.
This is our 25th anniversary celebration. I keep looking this way because we've got live music. We tapped Icicle Brewing Company, our sister company, brewed a Bavarian-style Hefeweizen, the house party hef, and so we tapped that in the keg today. We wanted this celebration to kind of kick off My Fest, which is a traditional German celebration. So Oliver and I moved up here with our 3 kids and opened Moochin House in 2001 and just, popped kettle corn. It was very simple. We had snacks, hence we kind of had a play on words, called it Moochin House, which is Munich in German. So then we just decided that we wanted to be here full-time, engaged in the community. So we basically then decided to sell the vineyard, and then we added our sausage grill, and just slowly but surely built Moochin House, and then eventually added a beer garden in the back. Our Big Bob is our most popular sausage, but even, we try to make sure that we explain all of our sausages, because not everyone wants a Big Bob. We have so many different options. We have organic chicken sausage. We have a kielbasa, like a 1/3 of a pound Polish sausage. We have our dirty face beerwurst. We have jalapeno and cheddar. So many different choices depending on what you like. We even have vegan sausages. We have vegetarian sausages, and then several sides too. So a lot to choose from.
That's good.
We've been able to kind of keep our menus small and specialized, and really work with local, like our buns are made locally by Bosket, and having Pacific Northwest sausages, and I think keeping our menu high quality, but also not too extensive has helped us keep the prices down. And because we really, from the time we opened, we had 3 kids, we wanted it to be a place where it could be casual and affordable for families to come, and where you can bring your animals even, and that everyone could bring your friends and extended family and not have it be a financial hardship.
If you have a restaurant you want featured on the next Lunch on a Budget, email us at news@ncwlife.com. In Leavenworth, this is Long Tran, NCW Life.
And finally, on this Monday, a lot of folks in our area still coping with the physical and financial effects of last December's flooding and windstorms. But now, 2 federal agencies have resources on the ground to help you out. The Federal Emergency Management Agency will open a temporary office today inside the Leavenworth Chamber of Commerce building. Their agents can help Chelan County residents with temporary housing, home repair costs, and other disaster-related expenses. And the SBA, the Small Business Administration, is still offering low-interest loans under President Trump's disaster declaration. For our area, and our own Jefferson Robbins spoke with the SBA's Public Information Officer, Todd Broadman.
SBA, to give you a little background, our middle name is business, so people often confuse us as only addressing business needs. We do address business needs, of course, but our division, and the division I represent, Office of Disaster Recovery, addresses both homeowner needs and business needs. In fact, I'd say nationwide, when disaster hits, over half of the loans that we issue are to homeowners.
And what you do, what SBA does, is sort of act as a low-interest loan giver, a low-interest bank for those folks who might need that kind of assistance. Can you talk about the 2 kinds of loan that SBA can make available?
Yeah, good question. And that's really the heart of what we do, is we're providing at SBA long-term financial assistance, whereas FEMA, for example, plays a very important role in providing immediate or short-term assistance. So the long-term, let me just unpack the long-term assistance, comes in 2 flavors. You have basically homeowner rent/renter loans, long-term loans, and you have business long-term loans. On the renter homeowner side, there's been either personal belongings that have been damaged for a renter or homeowner, and those loans can go up to $100,000 for personal property. For a homeowner that had direct damage to their primary residence, those loans, after insurance, can pay up to $500,000. Rates, the interest rates are very low. For homeowners, it's as low as 2.875, and for businesses as low as 4%. Business loans can be up to $2 million. So those are the limits there.
It's not free money. It does come with some strings and some repayment attached.
That is correct. So there's no such thing as the free money, but the money is coming directly from the Treasury. So it's bypassing commercial banks. So that therefore the rates are staying very competitive and very low. One thing I did not mention was the term, which is 30 years. I don't think I mentioned that. And there's no application fee either. So over 30 years at simple interest, not compound interest, with no application fee. That's right.
And again, Jefferson's complete conversation, it's a very informative one with Todd Broadman, will air in the back half of this morning's program. And you're in the loop on this Monday morning. Stay in the loop by watching the news tonight, the NCWLIFE Evening News at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, 5, 6, and 10, traditional on TV. But most people are unplugging nowadays, and we get it. And we want to be as accessible as possible, so it's on YouTube. If you have Roku, you can find us there. If you have the Fire Stick thing, HDMI, just find us. You'll just Google us and we'll pop up. And send us an email if you got a news tip, news@ncwlife.com. Mondays are usually busy in the world of sports. Today is no exception. We'll get you caught up in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
At Colonial Vista Senior Living, we believe life is meant to be lived fully. Our wellness programs inspire residents to stay strong, flexible, and confident every day. Here, curiosity is encouraged, friendships are nurtured, and every activity is an opportunity to connect, create, and enjoy life together. We invite you to experience the lifestyle at Colonial Vista Senior Living for yourself and discover why so many call our community home.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, your place for fun, food, and friends. Happy hour every day, 2 to 7. Try their brand new menu and famous prime rib every Saturday night. Planning a celebration? Book your holiday party, wedding, or private event, even in their exclusive simulator rooms. Highlander Golf Course and Grill, where every day is a celebration. Visit today.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
Sports at 21 after the hour. The Seattle Mariners dropped 2 of 3 over the weekend to the Chicago White Sox in Chicago, including yesterday's 2-1 loss. George Kirby, he pitched. I mean, Logan Gilbert pitched really well. He struck out 9. He just gave up 1 run, but unfortunately for Logan Gilbert, the Mariner offense decided to take the afternoon off.
There have been recently.
Up the middle into center field. Julio scores. Rosarena with an RBI into center. That gets away from Peters. And with that, Randy into second and Naylor into third.
Excellent piece of hitting here by Randy. Look at that. That 2-seamer starts off the plate. He does not give up on it. And then you got Peters out in center field who overruns this and allows Randy to get into scoring position.
You're going to put him in your rotation if he's that kind of a guy.
Naylor sends this one into right field. And it's going to one-hop and get out of play. And there goes my guy's beer. But he's chugging it anyway. Nothing goes to waste here at right field.
We'll watch it again as Naylor continues. Naylor thought that might have been out of the ballpark. And it cost the man probably just a bit of the beverage.
Wait, that's real quick thinking. We need to get him another one. That was impressive work. Get him some napkins and whatever else he is drinking. That should be on us.
And the young lady next to him took a little of the beverage in her eye.
Oh.
Which, as a rule, doesn't feel great.
Yeah. All right, so Steve, remember we saw that fan had his beer knocked over. So guest services going out, making sure he gets another one, compliments of the White Sox. Make sure everybody goes home happy. I mean, when you show hands like that, to make the save, make the recovery, it's only the right thing to do to make sure he gets another beer.
Well, I think he's going to be just fine with the exchange, which was nothing for a beer. It's a good exchange.
And I hope people are hitting him up saying, man, you got some nice hands. Good save. 1-2. This ball is drilled deep to left. Back he goes. Get out! Randall Grichuk ties this game in the 8th with a solo shot.
That's one of the reasons why the Sox got him, because this guy has hit over 200 home runs lifetime, and that was a big one. Sox trailing the whole way until that one swing.
Into left field, Rosarena got a good jump. Tagging
It's a short fly ball. A good throw gets him. A bad throw doesn't. The ball gets stuck in the glove. That's one of the reasons why the throw was high. He couldn't get it out of his glove in time, and Luzardo was backing up, which saved him a run.
1-2 pitch. Broken bat, right side. Murakami steps on the bag, and that's going to do it. Sox come from behind and get the 2-1 win, and will take this series from the Mariners. Southside, stand up.
That's a tough and tight one all the way, and the Sox, maybe the last few years, that one gets away. This year, a completely different team.
Mariners begin a 4-game series in Houston against the Astros tonight. George Kirby will take the mound. It's on FS1. First pitch a little after 5 o'clock. Nobody seems to want to take charge of the American League West. It's probably the most mediocre division in baseball. Everybody's hovering right at or below 500. Here's the scoreboard from yesterday. Identical score between the Orioles and the Athletics. Angels beat the Blue Jays. Reds beat the Astros. Rangers shut out the Cubs. All right, to the Preps we go. Busy weekend. Prep soccer scoreboard. They went to overtime, but the Sunnyside Grizzlies beat the Wenatchee Panthers at home 5-4 with a golden goal in overtime. But the Panthers did finish second in the Big Nine. Eastmont rolled over Moses Lake 7-1. And guess what? Those teams aren't done yet because Eastmont will host Moses Lake in a loser-out game tomorrow at 6 o'clock. The other half of that bracket will be Sunnyside hosting Eisenhower at 6 o'clock. Wenatchee and Davis will play Thursday at Zeffel Stadium in Yakima for the District 5 4A Soccer Championship. In the 1A 2B soccer tournament scoreboard, Tenasket shut out Wahluke 2-0. Wapato got by Okanagan in a shootout. The final there was 3-2. So the tournament continues. The 1A 2B soccer tournament. Cashmere has Connell coming to town tomorrow in the semis. The other side of the semi bracket is Cascade welcoming Royal. That is tomorrow in the semis. And then Tenasket and Okanagan are waiting. They have a chance to still get in. They'll play the final round this weekend down in Royal. Prep baseball scoreboard in the Big Nine. Wenatchee Panthers swept by West Valley at home on Friday. West Valley wins the Big Nine again. They went undefeated in the league this year, and Moses Lake snuck by Eastmont 2-1 in the first game and 3-1 in the second game. So the District 5 baseball tournament gets underway tomorrow in a loser-out game. Wenatchee will host Eisenhower at Historic Recreation Park at 5 o'clock. Across the river at Dan White Field, Eastmont will take on Sunnyside at 5 o'clock. Somebody's going to take on West Valley for the district championship. In the 1A baseball tournament scoreboard from over the weekend, Cashmere stuck by Chelan 2-1. Very entertaining game in Cashmere. Natchez Valley ended OMAC's season 9-2. So the tournament continues this Saturday in Ephrata. For the championship, Cashmere will take on Zilla at 5 o'clock. At noon, Chelan will take on Royal in a winner-to-stay game. Connell will take on Natchez Valley in a winner-to-stay game. All those games back-to-back-to-back in Ephrata on Saturday. In the District 5 2A baseball tournament, Quincy's season came to an end. Ellensburg shut them out 10-0. Sela got by Prosser 6-0. For Waterville Mansfield, their season came to an end. They lost a winner-to-state game to DeSales on Saturday. The final there was 5-1. Waterville, the Shockers, they're done for the year. The District 5 2B baseball tournament is tomorrow. Cleveland will take on Okanagan at 4 o'clock. 1/2 hour later, Columbia out of Burbank travels to Tenasket, and Lake Roosevelt will host Riverview. Prep softball scoreboard. We carried the games on Friday night, at least the second game of the doubleheader. I think it just ended. Eastmont won the first game. They on a mercy roll over the Mavericks 14-3. Moses Lake came back and won the second game 18-15. West Valley swept Wenatchee 11-1 and 15-5. So the District 5 4A softball schedule. Eastmont, turns out it was a three-way tie for the Big Nine championship between Eastmont, Moses Lake, and West Valley, but West Valley wins the right to host the district championship. They will host the Eastmont Wildcats on Thursday at 5 o'clock. In the District 5 and 6 combined 1A softball tournament, Chelan just got by Connell 10-9, and then that was the first game. Then they lost to Natchez Valley in the second round 11-9. Kai B beat Cashmere in the first game 5-2. Cashmere went into the losers bracket but stayed alive by beating Cascade 13-0. Cascade season is over. So they keep playing. Wednesday in Yakima for the championship. College Place in Natchez Valley will do battle at 6 o'clock. Before that, Chi B will take on Royal at 4 o'clock in a loser-out game. And here we go again. Kashmir and Chelan will play at 4 o'clock. Winner stays alive. The loser is done. In the two-way softball tournament scoreboard, Ephrata crushed Prosser 17-4. Sela then turned around and beat the Tigers 20-4. So Ephrata is still alive. They'll take on Ellensburg tomorrow at 4 o'clock in a loser-out game. There's going to be a test, by the way. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. Today is National Eat Whatever You Want to Eat Day. Today, fun facts about eating. I have it right here. About 25% of all Americans eat some type of fast food every day. A quarter of all Americans are eating some kind of fast food every day. That's a lot. Over 10 billion donuts are consumed in this country every year. 1 out of every 5 meals eaten by an American is eaten in your car. And I found the top 12 foods that Americans would eat all the time if there were no consequences to their overall health or weight. Number 12, cookies. Number 11, cheese. Number 10, chips. Number 9, cake. Number 8, donuts. Number 7, French fries. Number 6, chocolate. How it's consumed, it doesn't say. Number 5, tacos or burritos. Number 4, ice cream. Number 3, burgers. Number 2, pasta. And number 1, by far, the food that Americans would eat every day if there was no consequences to their body, pizza tops that list. So today is the day where you eat whatever you want to eat. Just don't blame me. Let's go to today in history. It was on this day 234 years ago today that Robert Gray said, "I think that might be a river." Robert Gray becomes the first European, anyway, the first white person to sail upstream in the Columbia River. Now, John Mears, 4 years earlier, searched for the river. He heard about it. He declared that it doesn't exist. He named Cape Disappointment because he was looking for the mouth of the Columbia River and came to the conclusion that there wasn't one. And then George Vancouver, just a couple of months before what you see there, he sailed past the mouth of the Columbia. He didn't know it. He took John Mears' report from 4 years earlier and said, if John Mears says that there isn't a river, then there isn't a river. Then he took off. And then he and Robert Gray ran into each other at the Strait of Juan de Fuca. He said, you know, I think John Mears is right. George Vancouver told Bob Gray this. Bob says, I'm going to sail down there anyway, just to see. And then Bob Gray went down with his ship, the Columbia, and realized that, hey, this is the mouth of a river. They sailed 13 miles upstream of the Columbia River, and he named the Columbia River the Columbia after his ship, which happened on this date in 1792. So we could have the Mears River, but it didn't happen. Guess that state flag. Oh, it's on it. We always play Guess This Flag whenever a state joins the Union. I guess, well, yeah, there you go. Minnesota. Happy birthday, Minnesota. Joined the Union on this date in 1858, 168 years ago today, 32nd state in the Union. The land of 10,000 lakes, but there's actually over 11,000 lakes in Minnesota. And not surprisingly, outside of Alaska, more residents of Minnesota fish than any other state. When you have that many lakes, you're going to take a shot of it. More than half of the population of the entire state of Minnesota lives in the Twin Cities area, lives in the greater Minneapolis-St. Paul. Like 60% of the state's population lives in the greater Twin Cities area. Twin Cities has a lot of Fortune 500 companies. Target is based in the Twin Cities. Best Buy, General Mills, Land O'Lakes, the dairy conglomerate, they're all based in the Twin Cities. And Minneapolis is the coldest major city in America. Every year, they average between 23 to 30 days every year when the temperature gets below 0. So if you're going to live in the Twin Cities, and it's beautiful between, say, April and October, you got to be able to bear November through March because it's cold. And finally, of course, we lost Ted Turner last week, the legendary Ted Turner. It was on this date in 1977, 49 years ago today, in the midst of a 16-game losing streak. Ted Turner, owner of the Braves, fires manager Dave Bristol and hires himself. Then they went out and lost to the Pirates to make it 17 straight losses. Then the National League said, Ted, there's a rule that if you own the team, you can't manage the team. Ted said, I didn't know that. And so after one day of managing the Braves, he decided to rehire Dave Bristol. But he was manager for a day. I forgot about that story until people brought it up after he passed away 1 week ago. Birthdays. One heavenly birthday, Irving Berlin, born in Russia. Family immigrated to this country when he was 5 years old. And then he started writing songs and wrote about 1,500 songs in his lifetime. Alexander's Ragtime Band, Easter Parade, Putting on the Ritz, Cheek to Cheek, White Christmas, Happy Holiday, Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better. There's no business like show business. And of course, he wrote God Bless America, the legendary Irving Berlin, born in this state in 1888, one of the top songwriters this country has ever produced. And Eric Burdon, the former lead singer of the Animals, he still tours. Believe it or not, Eric Burdon is 84 years old today. Somebody should probably tell him. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. They got a new logo, but their service remains the same. I mean, you know, new logo is good, but as long as you keep doing the voodoo that they do so well, Alpine Air is the place to call. For heat and air, call Alpine Air, our platinum sponsor. Going to take a break. Mike McNally's got an opinion, and then Jefferson Robbins had a chance to sit down with Todd Broadman from the Small Business Administration, who has low-interest loans for you business people out there and homeowners who had a tough go of it last December. That conversation is coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
NCWLIFE channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCWLIFE would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
We've all dreamt of moving somewhere new. But what are home prices like? How are the schools? What are the state income taxes? And how's the weather? For all your questions, the Coldwell Banker Move Meter has answers. It's the only tool that lets you compare cities by cost and quality of living, so you can get a better idea of what your dream looks like and start making it come true. The Move Meter, only from Coldwell Banker. Live well with Coldwell.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
A kitchen that makes mouths water and jaws drop. A bedroom from a dream with a bath from a spa. A walk-in you'd never want to walk out of. A pool like the fountain of youth. And a view that never gets old. When buying or selling a home of the highest standards, it's comforting to be represented by a real estate company with standards to match. Coldwell Banker Global Luxury. Live well with Coldwell.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. While fascism can be difficult to define precisely, scholars generally agree that there are 5 core principles that characterize fascist movements. These exclude extreme nationalism, which is prioritizing the nation above all else, and creating a scapegoat enemy, such as immigrants. Second, authoritarianism, an autocratic government led by a dictatorial leader. Third, then there's militarism, using the military to intimidate and suppress political opponents. Fourth, totalitarianism, seeking total control over all aspects of society, not just politics, as expressed in the heretical doctrine of the Christian nationalist movement of the Seven Mountains Mandate. And lastly, subordination of individual interests to the state by rejection of individual rights such as free speech. Does any of this sound familiar? This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. with professional-grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Community is more than just a place. It's the people, stories, and connections we share. At the Wenatchee World, we're your neighbors, your storytellers, and your trusted voice. From uncovering the issues that matter most to celebrating the moments that bring us together. We deliver the stories that keep the community moving forward. The Wenatchee World, your community voice, here every day.
Jefferson Robbins with NCWLIFE. The North Central Washington area saw a lot of drama back in December with floods and straight line winds that caused a great deal of damage around the area. Many people are still coping with it, but there are agencies on the ground now offering some help with that. I'm joined today by Todd Broadman from the Small Business Administration. Todd is a public affairs specialist with the Office of Disaster Recovery at SBA. Thank you, Todd, for being here.
It's great to be here, and thanks for inviting me over.
This is the second time that I've spoken with someone from SBA about our circumstances here in the Chelan-Douglas County area. Many people might think of the Small Business Administration and think, oh, you know, that's quaint. I'm not sure what they do, but you have had a role in recovery from this disaster. So after a natural disaster, what does SBA step forward to try and do?
Well, SBA, to give you a little background, our middle name is business, so people often confuse us as only addressing business needs. We do address business needs, of course, but our division, and the division I represent, Office of Disaster Recovery, addresses both homeowner needs and business needs. In fact, I'd say nationwide, when disaster hits, over half of the loans that we issue are to homeowners, not to businesses. We're here in Wenatchee because of an event that happened out in the coast of Washington back in December. So starting at the beginning of December, running through December 22nd or so, there was flooding that you're aware of. So that was a big event on the coast, but actually it kind of percolated east in Washington to businesses and homeowners. So we have affected homeowners and businesses here in Chelan County, in Douglas. We'll talk about some effects in Grant. But I cover Okanagan and Chelan, Kittitas, and Douglas counties. for those affected by that particular disaster.
And under the disaster declaration that President Trump signed, Chelan and Douglas counties are the easternmost Washington counties affected by that. There's about a dozen counties and many Native communities that are under that disaster declaration. And what that allows SBA to do, as I understand it, is to come in and say, can we help you financially to recover from damages that you've suffered? Is that right?
That's right. President Trump signed a executive declaration formally on April the 7th, so fairly recently there. Prior to that signature, SBA was here on the ground at the end of February, working with state and local emergency responders to help out. But the federal declaration actually expands the amount of help that we can assist homeowners and businesses.
And what you do, what SBA does, is sort of act as a low-interest loan giver, a low-interest bank for those folks who might need that kind of assistance. Can you talk about the two kinds of loan that SBA can make available?
Yeah, good question. And that's really the heart of what we do, is we're providing at SBA long-term financial assistance, whereas FEMA, for example, plays a very important role in providing immediate or short-term assistance. So the long-term, let me just unpack the long-term assistance, comes in two flavors. You have basically homeowner rent/renter loans, long-term loans, and you have business long-term loans. On the renter homeowner side, there's been either personal belongings that have been damaged for a renter or homeowner, and those loans can go up to $100,000 for personal property. For a homeowner that had direct damage to their primary residence, those loans, after insurance, can pay up to $500,000. Rates, the interest rates are very low. For homeowners, it's as low as 2.875, and for businesses, as low as 4%. Business loans can be up to $2 million. So those are the limits there. So I'll stop there because it gets kind of complicated as you get into it.
It's not free money. It does come with some strings and some repayment attached.
That is correct. So there's no such thing as the free money, but the money is coming directly from the Treasury. So it's bypassing commercial banks. So that therefore the rates are staying very competitive and very low. One thing I did not mention was the term, which is 30 years. I don't think I mentioned that. And there's no application fee either. So over 30 years at simple interest, not compound interest, with no application fee. That's right.
And Todd, these loans probably come with deadlines for application. So when should folks in Chelan, Douglas County be getting their applications to SBA?
As soon as possible. I mean, that's really the short answer and the right answer. That is that there is a window that we have, or deadlines that we have. So when a homeowner or a business, and here, let's differentiate, because I've been here for a while and talked with homeowners and businesses. The majority of those who are impacted here are businesses, not the homeowners. Some homeowners were affected in Leavenworth. Okay, there were communities in Stehekin and Mazama, I think, that were also affected. And here and there some other homeowners, but the majority of the businesses, when Route 2 or Highway 2 was taken out to the west of Leavenworth, then that obviously had a great impact on hotels, restaurants, and other businesses there in Leavenworth. So the majority of those applications have been for businesses. Businesses can apply until January the 7th of 2027. Okay, so that was one of the benefits of having the presidential declaration, is that deadline was extended. We advise everyone who thinks, or they're sitting on the fence, they're not sure whether or not they should take a loan, to apply, because there's no application fee. So it can be a plan B for many who need a plan B. The SBA will respond within 3 to 4 weeks with a yay or nay on the loan, and then they can accept or decline it. If they decline it, still the loan stays in the system for about 6 months, so they can circle back and reactivate it. But if they're sitting on the fence because all it takes is their time to do it, we encourage them to apply.
Can you speak, Todd, to the number of people or businesses in our area, in the Chelan County area, say, who have already applied up to this point?
I can't speak specifically because, of the individual business, but yes, in Leavenworth, I've talked to restaurateurs and hotels that have applied. So that's happening. And statewide, we've had to date 120 some odd applications at about $11.6 million total loan value. So we've had quite a few businesses and homeowners.
Now, in the early spring, late winter, back in March, SBA had a temporary office in Leavenworth for about a 2-week period. Is there any physical presence on the ground for SBA now, aside from yourself being here and scouting around?
In the state of Washington, yes. Locally, no, aside from myself. I'm trying to meet with as many folks, and I'm glad you had me over here to get the word out. Anybody who wants to apply can just go online, sba.gov/disaster. That's where you go, and you'll apply. SBA will open up a personal portal for you to manage your application and responses from SBA. So that's really how to do it. We have boots on the ground in 10 physical locations throughout the state of Washington currently, with about a dozen customer service representatives there. There are another 10 public affairs specialists like myself also in the state to assist. FEMA personnel will be coming into Leavenworth on May the 11th, and they'll stay there through May the 22nd. So for the local community, you can go to Leavenworth for FEMA type assistance. Again, it's different. They're addressing short-term immediate needs, some home repairs, some temporary housing bills, that kind of thing. But there you can get information on SBA if you want that. But again, sba.gov/disaster.
And SBA and FEMA, in instances like this, you're kind of working hand in hand. You're governed by the same executive authority. And FEMA's office, we should note, is going to be in the same place that SBA's office was in Leavenworth, at the Leavenworth Chamber of Commerce building.
That's right. They're going to be at the same location. I'm not sure how many personnel that they're going to have on the ground, but they'll be over there. Shout out to Troy and Dana up there at the chamber, who have been so accommodating for us through this stressful period.
We should point out it's not merely last year's floods that you're dealing with. You're also offering assistance after last year's drought declaration in damage claims for the 2025 drought for counties, including Grant County, which is our neighbor just to the south. I understand that their claims deadline for that is June 1st. Does that sound right to you?
I think, yeah, it's about that. I think the last date I checked was June 5th, but around that time period. So these are for those affected by drought, not farmers per se, because USDA usually comes in for that, but SBA plays a slotted role for agricultural cooperatives, nurseries, aquaculture organizations. So for apple growers, for example, in this area, if they're in an ag co-op, then again, we would encourage them, and they were affected by this particular disaster, we'd encourage them to apply.
Is there anything, Todd, that I didn't ask that you think people should know about SBA and SBA's role in this disaster recovery?
Well, yes, I'm glad you asked that. One of the things that I do share with the chambers and the representatives here, I was speaking with Brian Burnett last week, is that there's mitigation assistance. So I understand this area often is hit by wildfire. And so part of my presence here is to make people aware of how to plan for the future and mitigate against big dollar disasters. So in mitigation, what that says is that if they qualify as a business or a homeowner, 20% of they can get a loan equal to 20% of the assessed property damage, value of the property damage, in the form of mitigation loans, so they can maybe put on a new roof or mitigate against fire with landscaping, that kind of thing. And that's important that they know. The one other thing I would just add is that there is the possibility that with this loan, we can aggregate both the repair and rebuilding portion of the loan with their current mortgage. And so there's a possibility to refinance.
Todd, share with me again the web address where people can go to get information from SBA or to apply for SBA assistance.
Sure. www.sba.gov/disaster. There's an 800 number, 800-659-2955.
And that's the web address and the telephone number that you see on your screen right now. Todd Broadman with the Small Business Administration of the United States. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're watching the NCWLIFE channel.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCWLIFE channel.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Nice day up Billy Goat Way, no doubt about that. Nice day for everybody right now. 57 degrees here in the big city. Before we get to the forecast and a couple of details, my live read for pool to spa services, which I have not yet memorized, but I'll get there. Upgrade relaxation with a bullfrog spa featuring the exclusive Jetpack therapy system. Is personalized comfort in every seat. Visit Pool to Spa Services in Wenatchee and design a spa that's built for you, because some people displace more water than others. We have a quick minute. Let's go ahead and do the cameras one more time, because it is a beautiful morning, although the hills are still drying out and browning up as this unseasonably warm weather continues. We've had, I believe now, 14 consecutive days with our afternoon high above normal, and it's going to go to about 16 days before that finally comes to an end from the Wenatchee Heights camera. Camera number 2, Malcolm decides we're going to go see, is that Stein? I think that's Stein Hill. Yeah, there's a Lala Canyon Road there. I'm pretty sure that's Stein Hill looking over Dryden. Thank you very much. If we do these cameras for the last 10 years, you think I know them by now, wouldn't you? Camera number 3 is El Rondo Rock. Good morning to Lake Antiat, Rocky Reach Dam, Mission Ridge, losing more snow every day, way off into the distance. And our 4th and final camera, because they're so darn pretty, we are back up to Billy Goat. You can see Alta Lake at the bottom of your screen, the golf course, which is a pretty good one. You can't see Gamble Sands, but it's out there somewhere behind that ridge. Gamble Sands is actually closer to Bridgeport than it is to Brewster. Either way, go play golf there. You'll be glad you did. From the National Weather Service, sunshine today, about 77 for the afternoon high, 52 for the overnight low tonight. A couple of passing clouds. Mostly sunny on Tuesday. We'll see a few more clouds tomorrow with a high near 86, then partly cloudy on Tuesday night, 59 for the overnight low. Sunshine Wednesday, but by Wednesday afternoon, it's going to get rather windy as a cold front comes through, so we're only going to get to 80. Cold front, all things relative, of course. 80 is still plenty warm for this time of the year, but it is going to be quite windy at times on Wednesday and on Wednesday night. So we'll cool down to just 76 for the afternoon high on Thursday, and then only to 71 on Friday. The sun returns on Saturday with quite a bit of wind and a high of only 68, back down to about normal. That's it for us. Have a good and safe Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.